Hello and welcome to FRL F2 here on a wonderful Thursday, which wasn't supposed to be a Thursday, but here we are in Bahrain for pre-season. And yes, it is me. No O. Stephen today. He's too occupied with his own cottage pies or something, so he can't be here today. And would you believe it? Literally a few seconds into the stream and I've already said cottage pies, but there we go. So apparently it's just me today, so hello. And yes, I'm here today doing F2. We only have 14 drivers, so that's a bit unfortunate, but I think we have more when it's an actual Tuesday, when we can actually race on a Tuesday if the servers actually do work. So here we are then, it's the Bahrain Grand Prix. And we have cars already exiting the pits and they're already out on track. I need to make sure the stream settings are all good. Not the other streams that I do, those sort of settings. I mean, like actual F1 settings. So I'll put up the fastest lap and everything. Leader, tyres, you can see what tyres they're doing. Telemetry, does that really matter? I don't know. Lap data, that's crucial, and let's get the map up as well. There we go. Alright, so, you know, people don't get lost. We know where to go. So there we go. Here we are for the Bahrain Grand Prix. I am on the right channel, I think, because I can see Cryptic and, like, GTA people. This is the right channel. Yes. Okay, great. Hello and welcome to Ivo, Cryptic and Parrot. Welcome, everybody, to a wonderful track. Isn't it just glorious? Bahrain. I used to not like the track actually until, well, I guess, I don't know what happened. 2014, when it was dark, when they changed it to nighttime, although it's the same track, but there we go. So, just to look down as someone's car's on fire, or there were sparks there. Looking at the grid, so we got QRT Ryan in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, these are not the actual cars they'll be driving. Well, they are, but I mean, like, we're not going to drive go-karts, but yeah, so we got Ryan in, I mean, like, the constructor car, that's what I meant. So we got Ryan in the Alfa Romeo, of course. We got Oshin in the VAR_Oshin in the McLaren, employed by Zach Brown, who said he's the best driver he's ever seen since Lando Norris, so there we go. We got Buelow as well, of course, very good driver, excellent driver. He beat me in Australia a few weeks ago. We got Pepin in the Red Bull, we got Pelly in the Mercedes, we got Bunty, we got Ivo, we got Scar, we got David Enko, we got T-Hawk, he's in F2. So he's joined Williams. And that is a dog, hopefully not on the track, which happened a few years ago in this circuit. We got Unseen, who's returned and he's in F2. And we have Mr. CPI Fisico in the Ferrari as well. And we have Screnzi. And there we go, that is the grids for today's race. I'm sure more would have turned up if it was a Tuesday. But unfortunately, Lee Mather decided to hit the off button on the servers, so that was great. Anyway, I'm supposed to be talking about these lap times, so we got Unseen with the fastest lap. We got Fisico P2 by, well, just under 2/10 there, slower. And T-Hawk as well. And Scar, a second down almost. And Barnty with an incredible lap time, very close there to getting pole position, 9.5 seconds down. And David goes second, we got Ryan third. They're getting really close with lap times. By the way, Barnty said I would be doing solo commentary, but if anyone wants to join, or if someone actually said they would, just tell me, because I've got no clue. I'm not looking at the Discord, so I have no idea what's going on, so someone tell me just in case. Who's your favourite F2 champion? I would say, yeah, you parrot pace. I mean, every F2 champion I do like, apart from those who take me out in races, I suppose. Hello, Elizabeth. So you're supporting Scorenzi in the, in what car is he driving? Alpine, there we go. Hello, Yuri. Hello, Matthew. You're kind of... Oh, what? Oh, okay, sorry, right, yeah, I'll join your party. Oh, right, okay. Right, I'll join now. So I didn't know. Right, hold on. We'll get a co-commentator in. Hello?
Hello. I've just been sat in the lobby. I didn't know what was happening.
Sorry, I didn't know that. I thought it was just me, so...
I was meant to be doing F1, but then I got shipped off at the last minute.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I had no clue there was even a race today, so...
I don't even know. Hang on, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, can you guys in the comments hear him? Everything good? The audio's excellent. Unlike O. Steven's stream, where I sound like a robot for some reason.
Sorry about that. I'm back. No, I don't know what was just happened then. I think it was just a big misunderstanding, if anything. But we're here now anyways, so...
Yeah, that's great. I'm happy that I don't need to talk just by myself.
No, don't worry.
That's a positive.
I'm a talkative person. I don't know many of these drivers, to be honest. I've only commentated over a few of them.
Yeah, I know most of the grids. Some are FRL veterans, I'd say.
No. I literally only got into the server today, so I don't know any of the FRL guys.
So I'll have to talk you through who's to look out for.
Yeah, you should.
The good drivers. I mean, they're all good. You have to be good enough to be an F2, of course.
Well, yeah, of course. I only know, well, one I know properly. The only one who I know properly is Eugene, down in 13th.
With a 39-second deflect to pole position.
That's he spun, actually, at turn 11.
Oh, okay. So, well, there's still 10 minutes to go. So,
yeah, there's still a lot of time.
Yeah, plenty of time to improve. Should we set our predictions for quali, or is that a little bit too late now?
No, we can do. For me, it's just shot in the dark, to be honest, because I had none of the grids. So it's more of educate. I'll let you go first, since you have an idea of what you know the grid. I don't.
Right, I'm going to say Physico for pole, unseen seconds, and let's go for a Pelly P3. There we go.
Okay. Now I'm going to try and take your top 3, and I might do some... I'll go unseen pole, I'll go Physico second, and I'll go Ryan third.
Interesting. I mean, that's like doing the lottery, really, like trying to predict if you don't know.
That is literally the lottery. I have zero knowledge for... Whoa! Someone's just been disqualified. SKR has been disqualified for going the wrong way.
Oh, Scar. Oh, yeah.
So, he will be starting last.
How's he done that?
He's at the final corner. He must have spun or something. I have no idea, to be honest.
He's got lost on the racetrack. How is that even possible?
Yeah, and it's Bahrain. There's plenty of runoff here as well, so I don't know how that's happened.
Yeah, it's not like France where there's 100 different layouts you can get lost at.
Yeah, exactly. I think someone's coming across the line. That might be for... No, it's Hawk coming into the pit lane. There's an Alpha Tauri coming round for the start of their lap. It's Unseen, who's about to start his lap. Speaking of Unseen, I'll probably take you around Bahrain with Unseen around his lap as we go now 200 miles an hour pretty much, down, braking just before the 100-meter boards, going down into third gear as we go now through turns 1 and 2, trying to take turn 2, basically flat out going through fourth and up to fifth as we hit now the DRS zone of turn 3. Going toward the long right-hander at turn 4, caused many controversy over the years, go up into 5th gear at about 90 miles an hour. Bunty goes P1 with a 128.3, and Physico, your man for pole, is a 128.1 sorry. Unseen goes to 6th, goes down to 3rd for the long right-hander, now we go now to probably one of the hardest corners of the year, down into turn 10 as you go down into 3rd gear. We hit the second of 3 DRS zones around this track. Actually, well, last on this lap, if you don't count the start finish straight. As we go now into turn 11, it's very easy to spin at these next 2 corners. Turn 12, commonly known as the death corner, as Pepin goes a 128.0. Round turn 12, flat out in 7th gear, drops down now to 5th gear. As we go now, almost an invalidation there from Unseen. I can't remember the exact times of what he's up by or down by. As we go now through the final corner, going down into 5th gear, as it's now basically just a sprint to the line. That's a lap of Bahrain with Unseen.
Brilliant. That was excellent commentary and a well taken lap as well. Unseen, it looked like, you know, it was amazing the way he just glides into some of those corners. I mean, I wish I could do that in this game.
I know, the car just rolls, and I don't know how people do it. I really struggle to, actually, especially when you go right and then you hit the left hand. I don't know how they do it. I think there was some time definitely get lost in sector 3 after turn, I believe, number 12. Yeah, it's just if you look at Pepin now, he's about to go through, so on the exit of this corner here, he lost a little bit of time there, having a little bit of an oversteer moment just here, and missed the apex. That could have got him maybe some more time, but obviously he has one more run along the bag, and a fair few drivers are also on their laps, in laps should I say, actually, I think. But yeah, we'll see how the grids formats.
Yeah, do you race with what sort of traction, or no traction, or medium?
Well, I'm trying to learn no traction, but I do race with medium myself.
Yeah, because I mean, medium is deadly for me in this game, and that's saying something. Yeah, well, it's just some corners I can't do it. So.
No, I understand that, but it's because you get a little bit too. I'm assuming you play controller, no?
Yeah, I'm on controller.
You get a little bit too trigger happy sometimes, and it's like, you know, you just want to get on that throttle as quickly as possible, especially if you're in a battle with someone. For example, they're going around the outside of you, and they're trying to, like, you know, really. They have a better exit than you. You just want to get on that power as quickly and as early as possible, and you just get a little bit too trigger happy and you just spin.
Yeah, and yeah, it's happening way too often in this game. It didn't happen at all really in the last game, so I guess it's just the new cars. Yeah,
I was about to say, it's harder to spin probably on these cars, as we've just seen an improvement of time from Ivo, who went 7/10 quicker on his last lap with a 28.5. I don't know who else that was. That was Scorsy? Scorsy, I think I pronounced that correctly. 28.4, goes P5. So it's quite close at the top.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Yeah, I think it shows how close the field is, and I think there's going to be a lot of battles in the race.
Yeah,
and also, sorry, you can go over your point.
Oh no, I was going to say, yeah, of course, because Bahrain's a great track for racing with all the straights followed by slow corners, hairpins, and things like that.
I was going to say, another point that factors into this race is strategy. Obviously, with them 2022 regulations that allow drivers to now start on any tyre that they want inside the top 10, so they can qualify on the softs and start on the mediums or the hards, for example, really plays a factor in what drivers can now do as they can strategize all their races and carefully think about how they can beat their opponents ahead, basically.
Yeah, and speaking about the race start, I hope Bunty, who's the host, hasn't turned on the formation lap, because
if that happens, then I can actually check because I'm not streaming. It's in simulation settings, is it not? No, it's not. It's in rules and flags, will it not be? I would have thought. Formation lap's on. Oh no.
Okay, right. We're gonna have to.
We might have to restart.
Yeah, I don't know why do people still, because it's not like it's gonna fix magically one time after no updates or whatever. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna restart. This is actually my first race I've commentated on this year, but I've seen a load of streams about it all, and I've raced in the field as well, actually. But this is my first race that I've commentated on this new game.
Yeah, me too, I think.
Well, what a race to be commentating on, I think, especially with all this driver talent that we have in front of us. Literally feasting upon our eyes. Ready to see what happens as it's 3 minutes left to go in the session. Physico is coming through turn number 5. Sorry. You can see how close his next time is. He's 1,000ths down, and he ends up invalidating on the next corner. But it shows how fine lining the drivers have to be to improve on their times, because one little mistake and it messes up your lap completely.
Yeah, well, it's a good job it's not a one-shot quali, because a lot of drivers would be very disappointed with their one-time efforts.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing about short quali, because it's not too long that you have to, you're dragged out for an hour just doing one lap pace. But short quali, you have a lot of added pressure to it. But yet again, it's you've got to produce your best, and you've got about 3 attempts to do so. So it really piles on the pressure for the drivers, and also pressure makes diamonds. That's a quote that I always use a lot, and you can find out who the diamonds are in the rough as well.
Yes, and on another game that I like to play, I steal diamonds from a particular place. But anyway, back to F1.
I know exactly what game that is.
Yeah.
Immediately. That's the old classic line. That's how worlds diminish on that game, actually. Just saying, who stole my diamonds. That's it. Anyways, on a lap, there's a McLaren. Actually, we'll go to Eugene, actually. Down in P12. Obviously, he spun at this corner before, coming through turn 11 and 12. Going through in 7th gear. Taking it flat out, but obviously if you take it flat out, he's 2/10 up on his original time, so this could potentially put him, well, if it does, it puts him P5, which is some real improvement there, down from P12, showing how tight this grid is now going through the final corner, doing it excellently well. This is now a sprint to the line here for Eugene, the Irishman, as it's a 1:28.4, It goes P5. He does go P5. I predicted it very well. It's an insane improvement from Eugene, as I think a lot of drivers will also be destined to beat this. With only a minute left to go, one more attack from everyone is what is needed. We're going to go on board with Hawk. Down in P12, obviously in the Williams. You were quite shocked earlier that he's in D2. He's 5/10 up on his time. Apparently, it's a purple second too.
Yeah, it's looking good for him.
Or a bad reason. But we'll find out on this lap. He's 5/10 up on his time right now, so this could potentially be a pole position lap here for Hawk, as his blue angelic Williams is coming through. The last corner now is going to be a 1:28.0. He is so slightly off pole. It is 4,000ths pretty much off. Sorry, 400ths off pole. Ryan's retired from the session on track, I believe. I think he's got that car beached. That Alfa Romeo. No, he's not actually. Who else is going to come across the line? I think that is Physico, who is coming across the line. He's coming across for an in-lap, so there's no chance of him getting pole position now. Up next, there's a Red Bull. He's just starting his lap, actually, the pole man of Pepin. That's what I'm going to call him. Nick, that's who it is coming across the final corner. He's 3/10 up on his laps. This could be a very strong lap time here from the Red Bull driver as he comes across the line here. It's going to be a 1:28.0.
Oh,
goes pole
look at the time. Look at that.
By 2,000ths of a second, he's pole position ahead of his teammate, and his teammate is not improving in the first sector.
Oh, and he's spun as well. Oh, no, he hasn't.
Oh, unseen as well, is on a lap. He's in P4. He can't go further than 4th. Bunsey is a 10th up on his time in the first sector, or nearly a 10th and a half. As we come now to the end of the second sector, what does he manage to do in that Alfa Romeo? He's actually not improving. So he's managed to lose all that time that he's previously gained, as Ivo and Eugene both finish. Pelly is 3/10 up on his time, so 1:28.7, slowest of the bunch in the Mercedes, but it's still a very valid time. As Bunsey, will he be able to improve on his time? No, he won't.
Oh no, he has, I think, a little bit, just a tiny bit.
He might, but it's not enough to gain a position. The man who we're all looking at is not. So Pepin has decided to abort his lap time, which means Nick is the man on pole. and none of us predicted this.
Amazing. Look at the times as well. Like everybody, so close to each other. That is excellent.
Drivers within. 4 drivers within a tenth of a second, and 5 drivers. Well, 1 driver's just outside of a tenth of a second. Actually, but it shows all the drivers are within 7/10 of each other, which actually it sounds like a lot. But if you think about 7/10, it is not a lot at all for these drivers. So it's actually showing how close the field is, and really anyone could beat anyone.
Yep, and that's good for the race.
Exactly.
If we even get it going after the formation lap.
That's even if we get it going.
So there we go.
That is the that is going to be after short qualifying. We have Nick on pole, Pepin in P2, Hawk P3, Unseen P4, Sconsi P5, David. I'm just going to call him Davide. P6, Physico in 7th, Bunty in 8th, Ivo P9, Eugene rounds up your top 10. We then have Ryan, Bulo, I'm going to call him, Pelly and Scar rounds off your grid. 14 drivers here at Bahrain, and we are ready, hopefully. I said it's hopefully, for 29 laps ahead of us here at Bahrain.
Yep, Christian Horner delighted with that performance, although it doesn't really matter because no points are going to be awarded today, of course, for pre-season.
No, but I do think it's a good time to show what they're really made of and see how good they are on this new game. Because obviously it's a new handling model, you know, new ways of learning cars. Obviously it spins more as you've turned by your personal experiences. You know, everything changes with these cars, and the drivers have got to adapt pretty quickly, especially how demanding the seasons are and how high of a standard they have to be.
And here we are for race day, and look at that, the weather's fantastic here, so no rain predicted in Bahrain, probably. I don't think I've ever had a race here in the rain, actually.
I don't think I've ever seen a drop of rain in Bahrain before, so I have no idea. But I could place a lot of money that I don't think it's going to rain.
For those in the comments, you can predict your top 3. We shall very soon. Hello, David. We got Nick Edzak saying, "What recommendations for race fuel?" Put as much in as you. Yeah, don't gamble for sure. Yeah, do you know Edzak? I put an extra 2 laps in and I still ran out. It's incredible. I don't know how that happens. So, yeah, it's a mystery. Sorry for crashing into you, by the way.
Sorry, I'm back momentarily. Not momentarily, okay. I'm back now. I was gone momentarily, that's what I should say.
Gillian Parker says good evening as well. Good luck to everybody racing.
Yeah, good luck from us. That's if we get racing right now, because formation laps are the death of races. So I think a restart should be upon us, but mark my words, if there isn't, then I'll be a very happy man.
We got only 2 drivers on the soft tyres at the start, Unseen and Scar.
Oh, yeah, that's a. I think it might be a tactical move there from the AlphaTauris. All the rest are on mediums. Obviously, the predicted pit stop strategy: 1 stop, medium to hard; 2 stops, softs, mediums, and then hards. So there might be a little bit of a pushy first stint from the 2 AlphaTauri boys. Other than that, I think all the other drivers are going to be playing the long game to see who can get onto the hards the longest.
Yeah, of course. I don't think there's damage, and there will be no safety car in this race.
So I think it's literally just going to be full-on racing.
Yeah, so even if someone does a Roman Grosjean or something, there'll be no red flags or any safety cars, so that's disabled. But it will be enabled at the start of the actual proper season.
Yeah. Now, we're just, I'm hoping, I've currently got my fingers crossed and I'm touching wood that, you know, we can get this race going straight away. I don't really want a restart, preferably, but if there's a restart, there's a restart.
Yep, and hello Ninja in the comments, and I think it's time for our predictions. So I usually go for a crazy one here, so don't follow me with this. Scar first, Pelly second, Bulo third. So yeah,
I'll go with Pepin first, Physico second, Scornsy third.
Interesting. As they line up, but I don't think... Well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
I hope we do. Would you like to take lap 1, or would you want me to take lap 1?
Well, if you want to, if we get going. It's your first commentary.
I'll take it. Nick actually got his parking spot wrong. Same with Eugene. I think now, because they're disqualified, that's when the glitch happens. Wait. Oh my god, are we going to get racing? Oh, we are.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Where are the lights?
5 red lights upon us.
I don't see the lights.
And we are racing, go, 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 as Pepin actually will get an absolutely amazing start compared to Nick. Obviously, because of that driving spot, there's a Ferrari at the back who's already gone, as these 2 Red Bulls now going into the first corner. It's a very bad camera angle. Pepin's managed to get his teammate off the start. Hawk is up into P2, Scornsy to P3, Davide into P4. Nick is fading positions, like Lightning McQueen, as one would say, as now Pepin is 9/10 clear already at the start. There's a battle in between 5th and 6th. Unseen, Bulow and Nick are all getting very feisty with each other. Eugene's made a few positions off the start. Bunty being demoted, and through goes Hamilton, as some would say. Bulow's made a double switchback.
Oh, yellow flag.
And as you can see, it's absolutely... There's a Unseen who has spun out on them softs, so obviously Scar and Unseen, that strategy is not working at the moment. All these cars are quite clustered together. Pepin obviously 1.1 seconds ahead is a substantial advantage to those behind, but from 4th to 5th as well, it's about 2nd, so the front runners are starting to gain away, and I think there's going to be a train that's 4 behind Bulow. And as you can see as well, Bunty is right on the back of Eugene. He's actually going to go down the inside, potentially, going into turn 12, sorry. No, he won't. He's going to just sit back for the moment. But that's lap 1, everyone. It's been actually quite an action-packed lap 1, just a bit of a shaky first little camera angle, that's all.
Yep, and so I get the predicted pit stop strategy a little bit too late there, but there it is if anyone wants to see the actual display thing. But yeah, incredible. I wish the cameraman would wake up because he was half asleep at the start.
I know, that was actually not great. As Nick now going to look round the outside potentially here of Bulow. He's going to maybe have a better exit. Bulow gives him hardly any space to work with. Nick's going to somehow keep his car just scratched in there, and it is ever so close in between these 2 drivers as Nick now darts over to the inside line. Will he brake later, or will Bulow be the last of the late breakers? It is going to be Nick who's got that inside line. He's going to have that reinforced sort of area, but Bulow has an excellent battle between these 2 drivers, excellent respect, and Bulow has managed to keep that coveted P5 in that McLaren.
Yeah, but all this battling, look at the top 3 just pull away. And they're actually catching each other, these top 3 drivers here, so they're all bunching up.
No, they are, and also they're bunching away from Davide, and obviously if you're bunching away, you kind of get a little bit loss of pace, so actually Bulow may be able to catch him up here and bring him into this sort of long train of cars at the minute.
Yeah, and of course DRS will be enabled soon as well, and Pepin is not... Well, he's just pulled away now, just over a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or not.
Well, I think Hawk's going to try to use a lot of ERS, and if you have a look at ERS, I don't know if you have it enabled, but Pepin has 70% ERS compared to Hawk's 60, and Scornsy's got about 40%. So, and obviously we know how badly ERS can be used on this game. Scornsy's as fast as that with a 131.9, but anyways, we know how quickly ERS can be used on this game by our drivers. As Nick is going to have a little look here at Bulow. He runs wide, and Eugene might see a chance here to maybe go past. No, he won't. He's got to sit back for the moment. And he's actually spun. Has Eugene?
Oh dear.
He's spun at turn 2, and he is now fallen to the back of the pack. And Bulow actually gets the first exceeding track limits penalty of the night. Yeah, on lap 3. So obviously he's having trouble with track limits. I usually don't get warnings at Bahrain, so I don't know how that's happened. Might just be oversteer moments.
Me too,
to be honest. But anyways, we'll see. as I think Nick behind him has seen an opportunity as Bueller has run wide, and Nick is now going to go alongside each other along the straight. I think Bueller's going to be using that ERS. No, he's not compared to Nick. He's going to be braking later into turn number 11. It's going to be Nick as he sends it down the inside ahead of Bueller. Bueller's going to look for a switchback here into turn 12. Nick covers it off well, and Nick actually gets that position of P5, but Bueller should regain that back down the main straight, obviously with DRS ahead of him.
Yep, and here it's going to happen soon. He's defending already, actually, which I don't know if that's a good idea, but he's going to pull to the left to hit the apex. And another yellow flag. We got someone
it's for Physico.
Crashing.
Physico has spun out. As you can see, there is a massive little line of trains trying to break the slipstream. Bueller is now trying to get past Nick. Nick's not really doing much to fight this. It's a very late move from Nick, quite aggressive there actually. And he's going to break later here, going round the outside. Have to go the long way round if he's going to go around that bright orange with McLaren. He's managed to do it though, but Bueller has that switchback. He has a little bit of a fumbling moment there with a little bit of oversteer as he's going to go now, darting to the inside, goes down the other way, dummies him, going now into turn 4. This could be Max versus Lewis here, but potentially, will he go off the track to get the move? No, he won't. Nick gives him the space, though, going through turns 4 and 5. He has to give him room, but he hasn't. And it is just enough room, actually, I think, just to work with, as Bueller actually gets demoted a position, and Nick is promoted a position, but Bunty's right there as well.
Yeah, both Alfa Romeos, actually. So that could be interesting if they fight each other here.
No, it's a long train of cars at the minute. Bunty obviously with hardly any ERS, 20%, the lowest quite easily of all the drivers so far. I think he's just using it just to hang on to that DRS, because obviously these two up ahead will be, sort of leeching off each other for the DRS, and it will obviously increase their gap ahead. However, the top 4 getting quite close to each other. We haven't really seen much change from them, however, because obviously a DRS train is quite hard to get out of. Davide is barely getting in there. He's on 6% ERS, so he's hanging like a thread at the minute. We'll have a look at Scorsese. We'll see, he's probably not the best view of the house. Scorsese does set the fastest lap with another 1:31.9 previously.
Hold on.
To move here potentially. Pepin. He's going to go for a send it, going down into turn 1. He gets that car rotated well. Pepin's obviously got the outside line, and Hawk has to, I don't even know, counteracts that oversteer moment, and he's got another run here potentially on Pepin. He has to stand down. Bunty has made a move on Bueller. I don't know what's happened to Bueller. He might have had a massive oversteer moment because both of the Alfa Romeos have got him, and actually Pello as well. He's going to break late. He's gone wide, and he somehow made it stick because Bueller, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if you can see
he's lost a lot of time there in positions.
Yeah, he's just lost about 4 or 5 positions. There must have been a very hefty movement of oversteer there, because obviously I think we know how bad the oversteer can be in these cars, and we've seen it as well.
Oh wow, what a battle this is. This is incredible. The top 4 are just so close to each other, battling. So if one of these battles each other for P1 here, P3 and P4 can pick up the scraps.
I know, as Ivo as well is looking for the move on Scar. Scar obviously is making a lot of positions on them softs, but obviously tyre degradation is quite high around here. So, he'll be pitting very early on, but he's going to try and make it work. He's 6 tenths down on his original time, so I think that's already showing that the tyres are sort of going off. We're going to go back to the top 4, however. Davide's sort of in this battle. He's hanging literally by the skin of his teeth. We're going to go on board here with Hawk, or actually, we'll go on board with, I don't even know who we're going to go on board with. There's so many people to look on board with, but actually Hawk, maybe looking for the move. Pepin goes defensive there, and he's just seen there, he's just pushed him through the corner. Kind of going, hey, get a move on. I think, and it's worked for Pepin because he's gained about 2-3 tenths of time. Davide is right on the back here of Scorsese, almost hitting the back of him there. He's breaking that early. Ivo's made a move on Bueller now. Bueller's left the session. He can't get invited back, unfortunately, because of that's how the F1 game now works. So once you leave mid-session, you cannot join back. So that's the last we're going to see.
Oh, really?
Here tonight. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
If you have a look in the pause menu, you can no longer invite people once they've left the session. So that's the last we're going to see of Bueller here tonight, unless he uses an old invite, for example. I don't know. We'll see. But there's still a lot of battles on the track here. Top 3, obviously. Top 4, should I say? Sorry, Davide's still in the fight. They're all so closely together at the minute. It is extremely close. Pepin has my headset. That's sorry. I had still on my
Oh,
microphone.
that's okay. Yeah, I thought the connection was gone or something.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's me. But I didn't miss anything, so Pepin's broken out of that second off Hawk, as you can see. Pepin actually sets the fastest lap with a 1:31.7, going 2/10 quicker off the previous fastest lap. I think that shows something, actually, that Pepin's really starting to turn on the gas. He is as well with the ERS. Scornsey has got the most currently out of these four, so he's saving it well, and we'll probably use that later on to his advantage, but he has to use it quickly, because Pepin is breaking away.
He is indeed 1.1 seconds now. Also, to factor in pit stops, well, it's going to be a one stop for sure, and those soft runners will be pitting soon.
Yeah, unless you're an AlphaTauri driver, I think it will be a one-stop strategy. Obviously, the hards can go any distance, so it's really about the fact of how long can the mediums go. And obviously, we know with the whole new tyre systems of it, when you come out of the pit lane, it's going to be immediately 70 degrees, and 70-degree hards are quite hard. Get the pun. To get back warm again, so it is really hard to do. Actually, get the pun again. This is not intentional, by the way. I'm just saying it malignantly. But anyways, as you can see, Scar is trying to get past the Alfa Romeo Bunty, but it is quite hard for the I can't stop saying hard now. The soft runners to get past the medium runners now, because obviously I think the mediums will have a slightly more advantage than those on the softs.
Yeah, and I mean in the race that I did, because I'm in F3 and I did this race, I went medium softs, so it is definitely possible to do that and not use the hards at all.
No, we'll see, because I would prefer to use softs and hards, but obviously we'll see how far the softs can go. By the AlphaTauri drivers and when they pit, and that's sort of really a benchmark for the medium runners to see. Oh yeah, well can I maybe stretch the mediums out to go on to the softs? I'd say probably maybe lap 21, 22, or maybe lap 2021. I'd say probably is when the optimum of the soft starts to drift off. I don't know what lap he pitted on.
Yeah, it was like at the end of lap 20, but I just copied the guy in front of me because I had no clue. I did no practice and somehow almost got a podium, so it's quite an incredible performance.
No, I am going to feast your eyes though on Scornsey. Actually, he's been on the back of Hawk this entire lap. Obviously, Hawk dropping off the pace a little bit with Pepin. 1.2 seconds now. He's really trying to get back into that DRS of Pepin, because as soon as he gets back in that second, the battle is now on again. So Pepin's really trying to break out as a Hawk actually has a little bit of oversteer on the straight. I don't know how that's happened, but he has. But Scornsey is putting in some very consistent lap times at the minute. And he's putting in some consistent sector times as well. Davide's also very close to falling out of this second. And also Scornsey can now see that red light flashing for Hawk, which indicates that he's got less than 10% ERS to work with. Scornsey's not going to use any ERS going down the straight. He's just going to use DRS just to glide him through. So angelically it seems for these drivers as well. I don't know how they managed to do it. As we now go towards Ryan and Nick. Ryan has to brake a lot earlier than Nick. He doesn't want to go for the move there quite clearly. If it was me, I probably would have sensed up the inside and caused barbaric collisions.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue. Ryan just had a massive moment.
Well, I'm just also thinking about some of the other drivers not involved in the race lead, but they're still having incredible pace. Like, for example, Unseen and Physico got caught up in early incidents, I think, so that's why they're so far behind, but we can't count them out. Maybe perhaps in this race they're not going to fight for the win, but for the whole championship, for the whole season, they are definitely up there as contenders.
No, I think that I said this in qualifying. Quite frankly, the attitude is anyone could beat anyone. At the minute, Scar has actually spun and he's done another 360. He's done 720. So fair play to him, to be honest. But no, I think the attitude is anyone could beat anyone.
Yep, and yeah, Scar's done his daily spin. He usually does a crash or he has a spin, like almost every race. No matter what happens in the race, it happens at some point, unfortunately.
That's nice. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You can see how close he is behind Hawk. And he use that ERS. He's not. He's extremely close behind. Will we see a move? Potentially, he's getting Gaining, pulls over. He actually is just a little bit too far back as Scar again had managed to spin. So,
he's lost.
Yeah,
he's down to lost.
Came back. Has Bulo came back to life? No, he hasn't. He's in there, mode. Okay. Anyways. Oh, Ryan and Nick are getting awfully close to each other. Ryan actually darts over to the inside, sends it into turn 4. Nick really not giving him much room to work with. I've seen that with Nick, actually. He likes to give the least amount of space possible to the driver behind him. I don't know if that's a tactical move or...
Well, if it works, then that's great for him.
If it works, don't change it, but... You know, we'll see how the drivers can maybe adapt their racing game to, you know, really, you know, like fault it, because I'd say you're a racing driver yourself, and you know, like it's quite hard probably to manage about all the driving strategies and everything in their minds, and you know, focus on the racetrack at the same time. It's quite a substantial job for these top tier drivers to do.
Has Scar spun again?
Oh, he has.
That's three spins, right? He's had.
We should have a spin counter on the bottom for Scar.
Yeah.
We need to talk to the admins about that. We need that employed. Scornsy once again, he's going to have another run down the main straight. He's going to use the ERS this time, just a bit, just to make sure he's in that slipstream. Will he go for the move here on lap 11 on Hawk? He's going to have a little look. He's a little bit too far back again. And then whilst we do that, we're going to go back to Ryan, as Ryan is going to make a clean pass before turn 1. Will Nick do some late braking, as he always does? He isn't, but he's going to go for a switchback maybe. Ryan's going to try and cover enough. He has done, but obviously Nick will get a better run there. It's he's gaining.
Use the slipstream. What's he doing? Oh, he's just crashed into him there.
No, I've no idea, but he's gone down the inside into turn 4. Who will get a better run? It's a beautiful helicopter cam that we have currently. Atop of these drivers, Ryan has managed to get the position, but I don't know why Nick didn't use that slipstream there. As you can see, Peligro has decided to take off the runoff, taking very inventive lines at the minute are some of these drivers.
Yeah, indeed, and well, we can clearly see the Rebel is much faster than the Alfa Romeo here, so he needs to get through, and he wants to try and catch, because look at the gap, 6.8 seconds compared to those top 4 drivers, so he's losing time all the time here.
No, I think he is, and considering the fact he's starting on pole, and he's the quickest out of all of these drivers in a 1-lap pace, maybe he's been focused a bit too much on quali, not enough on the race, if that makes sense. Because obviously when you practice, you have to do stuff involving race play. Maybe he's just been, you know, sitting in time trial. I don't know. I don't know how he's been practicing, but if I was to make an inferration, that's what I would say has happened. And he spun. He almost had a moment. As we've just seen, Peligro is going to go, thank you very much for the free position. I'm up into P6, and Ryan may break out of that second now. That gives Ryan an incentive to break out of the second, as Nick is going to now send it down the inside of potentially of Peligro. They're going to go side by side very closely. Peligro managed to stick his nose in front there, where it really should have belonged, but it is actually there. And he's managed to do it successfully, as Nick is going to dart over to the right-hand side, going to go down the inside, going into turn number 4 now, as they're still side-by-side as we go now through the sand dunes, as Unseen sets a fastest lap with 1:31.3 in that AlphaTauri. Obviously, he's 13th right now, and is just pitted for a new set of mediums. Nick has managed to break away from Peligro, and Bunty has now been brought into this battle as well by these guys purely just battling.
Yes, and also those who pitted as well, the 2 AlphaTauris, they'll be gaining time. Well, not Scar, but Unseen.
Unseen, so, Unseen will be trying to make his way through the field as quickly and efficiently as he can. I don't know, Ryan just did a very inventive line. It was a all-right line, but it's a line that I didn't see. He actually went along the curb during turn 11 and 12. That's something I haven't seen before. Of any of these truck drivers, actually. But, we'll see.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I've seen that. Although I didn't see it on the screen, but, yeah.
No. Oh, Unseen. Oh, no, it's an AI pass, so. Let's not gas it up too much. As, Scornsy now is once again looking for the move on Hawk. He's been sitting behind him for a fair few laps now. Obviously, this isn't going to be helping his or Davide's tyres behind as well. But you see as well, Hawk has managed to get within that 1 second gap of Pepin, which has now brought all those three back into the battle for the lead, which now makes it once again a 4-way battle for the lead.
Yeah, and that's exciting. If only like every single driver could have a battle for P1, that would be incredible. But yeah, 4 drivers. I mean, that's and someone spun. That's Ryan's gone sideways.
Ryan's gone. Yeah, I think pre-season's also a time to really, you know, like consolidate. That's the word I need. Consolidate your driving abilities, making sure that you know you can fine tune any of those little mistakes. Obviously, attribute points towards the board. You know, we can utmost see what's happening with these drivers.
Yes, indeed. And of course, there'll still be more drivers probably by the time we turn up for round 1, hopefully. Next race is another pre-season, but the week after should be when the championship officially starts. I don't know what the track is going to be for next week, but should be exciting.
No, I have no idea, and I don't even know if I'm there.
Oh,
I'm on holiday myself, so I'm not sure.
Well, that's if the servers are up, of course.
Oh yeah, it's EA, so we'll never know. Bunty's pit. So Bunty's the first medium runner to pit for new tyres. I'm assuming it's going to be for the hards. So I think a lot of these drivers are going to wait a fair few more laps. Obviously, Bunty's had enough, and he's going to try and undercut those ahead of him, seeing what he can do.
Interesting.
It is very interesting, but it's the power of strategy. So obviously there's been some thoughts going into this. I'm just going to dart your eyes up to first and second. The gap is now gone up to 1.6.
Oh wow, look at Seahawk.
Is right.
Yeah.
So, Scornsy's right on the back of Hawk. So Hawk must have dropped off during that lap for Pepin to, you know, really not, I don't know, just... Oishin's retired in the pit lane. So he's done the noble thing, and he's retired in the pit lane.
Yeah, terrible day for McLaren. A bit like real life, actually, in Bahrain.
Yeah,
McLaren.
It is actually. Obviously not showing reminiscence of what Oishin's true potential is. I know that myself, but obviously I'm not going to hype him up too much. But he is a very fast driver, and obviously today didn't show what his potential was. As we're going to go on board here with Scornsy as he's going down the main straight here. He's gaining. Will the move finally be done here for Scornsy? He's been waiting for however so many laps as he goes down the inside potentially of Hawk. Hawk is going to break a lot later than him. Hawk is still ahead, and Scornsy has got to look at that back of that Williams for just a little bit longer. He sees that there's a gap opening for him. There's light at the end of the tunnel as we're going to go now maybe to the end of turn 4. He can't do it. However, Scornsy has still got to sit behind, which also brings Davide in even more. And Scornsy must be frustrated in that Alpine now. And surely, if he wants to, he could maybe try and pit.
Yeah, I mean, if all this battling going on is a perfect time for others to... Oh, and someone's... Oh, the race leader spun.
It's Pepin. And Pepin, this now is a 4-car battle. But Pepin has spun on their mediums, which means his rears are now going to be extremely hot. So he'll be losing time because he's trying to be careful. But that just shows how quickly, even if you're on a comforted lead, you can still spin and lose 3 positions, which shows how close the field are at the minute. But I'm sure Hawk won't be expecting this, and Scornsy will now want a time to strike, because arguably he's a lot quicker than Hawk at the minute. But we'll see what Pepin can do as well, obviously with that little bit of ERS compared to others, and we'll see if any of these drivers will pit as well.
Yeah, I'm so intrigued to see how this hards versus soft strategies, how those play out.
As Hawk is going to dive in, Scornsy's going to stay out, Davide's going to dive in, and Pepin is going to stay out. Oh, sorry, Hawk stayed out. Hawk stayed out. He's dummied me, actually. Davide's the only one who's gone in, so Davide will be a factor at the end of the race, and he'll be undercutting probably these guys by a lot, depending if he comes out in traffic or not, of course. I don't think he will, unless he comes out behind unseen, which I don't think will happen. He might come out just behind his teammate, actually. Anyway. But, yeah, again, I don't know how Hawk is keeping ahead of Scornsy. He's defending like a madman at the minute. But Scornsy must be getting very frustrated in that Alpine. And Pepin as well, obviously extremely frustrated. Had that 2-second lead ahead of Scornsy and Hawk. And he's now got to regain all of that back and also overtake these guys as well, which isn't an easy task.
Yeah, of course. And, well, let's see. So, yeah, he's rejoined, by the way, in clean air, so that's a major
so
factor as well.
I think Davide will have a big undercut over these guys. You'll see the gap to him and Physico. We can check up on that every few laps, depending if Physico decides to go long or short. We'll see. You can really see how on the back Scorsy is of Hawk. It is literally like literally a few meters of car length between these two. It's probably about 1 or 2 car lengths in between. As we go down the main straight now, Pepin is also on the back of Scorsy. Is Hawk going to dive into the pits? No, he's not. He's going to dart away from the slipstream. Is Hawk going to make a move potentially? Sorry, is Scorsy going to make a move on Hawk? Hawk's been sitting in front, that's what I mean. Pepin's going to have a little look as well. He's just a little bit too far back. They're all a little bit too far back. They're really on the back of each other in the corners, but on the straights, they can't really seem to do anything notable at the minute. But actually, Scorsy is going to use that ERS to his advantage. Really have a look. He's just, again, a little bit too far back. You have to be alongside to make a move in these F1 cars, purely because of how big they are and how easy it is to spin as well. As actually, Scorsy's up on his best time, showing how much he's pushing at the minute.
Yeah, I think these top 3 drivers are going to go softs. I think they're going to do that.
I think they are as well. As Unseen actually is battling with Davide. So Davide must have had a moment there on them hards, because Unseen has managed to overtake him. We're going to go to this battle actually. Davide is going to go pull to the right-hand side, to the inside line. He's going to get there. Is Unseen going to pull a switchback of Drees potentially in the Avatar? No, he's not. He just couldn't get on the traction just early enough. And Davide's managed to get that position back, but he's lost 2 seconds to Physico. So maybe the hard tyres are the wrong tyres around here to go around.
Yeah, they could be. I mean, they last long, but there's not long to go in this race, actually. So I don't know if that will even matter.
Yeah, I think softs are probably the optimum, like you did in F3. I think it probably is the best thing to do. As again, you can see Hawk trying to break the slipstream here with Scornsy. He's preying on that pit stop window to come sooner rather than later. As Scornsy now, will he go for the move? Finally, looking like no, it's not. He really doesn't want to go for that move to Scornsy. He wants to be literally alongside before he can get that move done. Which I think just shows he just doesn't really want to, get in front and get overtaken again, cause a real battle. He just wants, get it over and done with. It's kind of, I think, his attitude in that Alpine. Pepin's also lingering behind as well.
Yeah, surprisingly, all this battling hasn't really cost them too much time. These top drivers, which is good for them, of course. Not great for everybody else who wants to actually catch up or have a chance at
Davide
a podium.
Unseen again having another battle. Davide is losing a lot of time to Physico, and Physico has not stopped, to my knowledge. No, he hasn't.
Oh, here we go.
As Davide now is going to go around the outside. I have to go the long way if he wants something. Going to go maybe for a switchback of Dreams. There's now Romeo the spun. We'll attend to that later. Davide with an absolutely amazing move there. A switchback of Dreams has done an absolutely astonishing move on Unseen. On them hards, obviously, with the mediums. And Unseen might play the same game with Davide. He isn't. He's going to have the DRS going through the next sort of corner. We'll alert with the top 3 in a second. But what a move that was from Davide in the Ferrari. As Unseen actually pushes him through the corner, gives him a little nudge. But we'll go back to the top 3 here. Obviously, no ERS really for the top 2. 40% ERS for Pepin in P3. I'm going to turn lap data off because it's a bit distracting. As we have a look now, Scorsy is still just ever so slightly behind, and he never can make the move, but he's right on the bumper of Hawk behind him.
Yes, and looking at David's times, that battle he had has cost him tremendously. 2 seconds. 2 seconds he's lost.
Yeah, speaking of battles, there's a battle for P5 and P6 between Pellegro and Ivo. Pellegro actually going around the outside of turn 1 there in the Mercedes. We haven't really heard much of these guys. It's kind of driven their own race, not really done much. They're one of those drivers today, and obviously it's been a very quiet race for them. But Pellegro with an absolutely amazing move. You didn't probably see it, but it was around the outside of turn 1. It's quite hard to do actually going around the outside on this game. But it's definitely possible because Pellegro has just done it.
Yes, and back to the battle for P1, and perhaps not a battle in terms of who's going to pass who, but who's going to make a call into the pits.
Yeah, I think it's going to be who's the first move, because now is around the time to pit, in my opinion. Lap 19, lap 20, 21, that's kind of that sort of area. I think it's going to be Hawk who will make the first move, because obviously he is the leader. And Scornty's waiting, I think, for that first move to happen. Hawk is not going to pit.
Oh, no.
Pepin going to pit, though. Pepin's not going to pit, so they're going to go for one more. Will anyone make a move? That's the question. Pepin's really not going to use that ERS. He's comfortable where he is currently. I think he believes he can win the race. Obviously, he will have that tremendous ERS advantage. I can't get my words out today. I don't know why.
Well, I think this has been an incredible race so far. I mean, I didn't really expect... well, actually, no, I did after qualifying when we saw the times were really close. Then, yeah.
I think the attitude was anyone could beat anyone. Quite frankly, anyone can beat anyone in this tier or division. I don't know what you guys are calling it in FRL. But from first looks, FRL is an absolutely amazing league for racing. As again, we go back to the usuals of P8 and P9. Davide and Unseen are in, yes, again, another battle. So this is not good for Davide, obviously losing a lot of time. Wrong strategy call, I think. But Davide is going to go down the inside, going through to Unseen. It's going to be a pretty routine pass, actually. Will Unseen manage to hold it around the outside? In that AlphaTauri, it's going to be quite tight here, as they're now going to go side by side, potentially into the dunes. No, they're not. Davide's kept the position of P8 ahead of Unseen in the AlphaTauri. And if you're having a look at the top three now, we're getting very close to that pit lane again. And we're going to see who wants to make the first move. Of the three of them. So I don't think Scornsy's going to make the first move. I think it's going to be Pepin or Hawk who's going to make the first move.
Oh, here we go.
Who's pitting? It's going to be both Hawk and Scornsy. Pepin's going to go one more. So we've got to remember at the end of the race, Pepin's going to have one lap fresher softs. But the question is, who is going to have a better pit stop? Obviously, there's optimal, green, and a good and poor pit stop times. As that seems pretty optimal from Scornsy. Scornsy actually has a little bit of a less of a gap to Hawk, so there might have been
Pelly! Look, he could influence the top two here. Oh, yeah. Because he stayed out longer.
Yeah, Pelly has not stopped. Only himself and Pepin are the only ones to not stop yet in this race. Obviously, Pepin's got to put in a lap of his lifetime now, because them softs can get up to temperature very quickly. So you can see the drivers are warming up the softs on that straight. But obviously, when Pepin does pit, or come out of the pit, should I say, he will have a lot of time ahead of him. And that is a wild Davide that's... no, it's not... I don't even know who it is. It's Unseen. Unseen's had a moment. Yeah,
and David as well. They both had a moment there. Lost a lot of time.
Yeah. I think they did both. I think they did both lose a lot of time. Lap 21, obviously, is getting close to the pit lane. So where will Pepin come out of the pits? That is the question.
Well, undercut is going to help the others tremendously.
Yeah, could the overcut possibly come off? It's going to be extremely unlikely, but could it? There's always a possibility. We will see. There's a back marker of Buelow. He's not going to come across him though.
And he's in. Oh, and that's penalty. Why did he do that?
For speeding in the pit lane. It's a rookie error for the Red Bull driver. And he can't serve it either, so he has now got to drive like an absolute madman. It was definitely an optimal pit stop. Pellegro is now coming into the pit lane. Will he get a 5-second speed penalty? No, he won't.
And here's T-Hawk. Yep, and... Scornsy. Yeah, they're going to pass him? No. What?
So the undercut. Sorry, the overcut has managed to work.
Wow.
But obviously on cold softs, Pepin's got to get them tyres up to temperature. So will Hawk go for the move on Pepin up ahead? He's going to use that ERS maybe to his advantage. He sees the move on. He goes for the send of dreams.
Oh my.
On cold tyres. Pepin can't do anything. And Scornsy is going to take advantage of that as well. Going into P2. Going to go down the inside into turn 5. Going around the outside into turn 6. The camera angles are very, very dodgy here in Bahrain. But Scornsy's made the move into P2. He's taken an incentive and uses awareness and racecraft to absolutely scorch past Pepin, up into P2. Hawk as well with an absolute send of dreams. But now Pepin, his race has arguably been taken away from him because of that 5-second penalty.
That was the most incredible thing ever, really. I mean, is this pre-season or round one? It's incredible how much these guys are fighting for this.
They're fighting like it's sort of, last Max versus Lewis Abu Dhabi 2021, you know? Like, they're all on the same points, you know, they have to get ahead, but obviously it's showing your worth, and everyone wants to be known as the best. They don't want, you know, any sort of... They want that ego boost and confidence boost as well, going into round one, because obviously that confidence helps a lot around this game. You know,
oh, here we go again.
Overconfident. As Scornsy now is going to try and be confident with passing Hawk, as there's a 131.2 for Scornsy, the fastest lap of the race for the Alpine team. Nick actually with a 130.0 is really putting in the laps. As you can see, you can definitely tell on one lap pace he's the quickest. Pepin obviously dropping out behind. That 5-second penalty has really ruined his race for the Red Bull. Must be heartbreaking currently in that sim rig or in that chair that he's currently sitting in. So we'll see. 4 tenths now between Hawk and Scornsy. These two have literally been inseparable since the start, and we're all here for it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, only a handful of laps left to go here, but anything can happen here between
Obviously,
these top three.
Or F2, realistically. Physico and Ryan, they're in a little battle themselves. Obviously, Ryan on the hards. Physico is on them softs. Ryan actually runs wide there. Physico's got to have he has the grip advantage in that Ferrari. I like rolling my R's, so hence why I did that. As we go now through the long turn 10, as Physico now, he's trying to get past with the help of DRS, ERS, anything ending in RS, you know he's using to his advantage. As we're going to go maybe down the inside here, going into turn 11. We haven't seen a move here before, as they're going to go side by side here, ever so closely to touching us, probably millimetres away at the moment, as there's a fight at the top as well. But we're going to keep it side by side here between P10 and P11. They're going to have to hold standstill for now, because it looks like Scornsy might be making a move here. He won't. It's Scornsy. Scornsy's not going to make a move literally till the final lap, and it's going to be an absolute send watch. I'm calling it right now. It'll be an absolute send for the race win if he makes a move. But actually, he's extremely close now. There might be a chance for Scornsy that he makes a move here. He's going to go around the outside for the first time. Scornsy's managed to try and make a move, but Hawk has managed to cover him off very well, as Unseen and Ivo do a little switcheroo. Obviously, Ivo on them new softs, Unseen on the mediums, as Pellegro gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, Scar did as well a lap ago as well. So, yeah, more people picking up strange penalties somehow. I don't know how they're doing it, like you said before, how you can get penalties there.
I think it's about the high stakes of this race. Well, it's not really high stakes, but for these drivers, it will be high stakes for them. And, you know, obviously racing competitively in drivers of very similar skill level to you, and, you know, prone to mistakes with all the pressure, with all the hype, with everything that's surrounding you. It's going to be a lot of obstacles to deal with as well. And, you know, track limits is probably the last thing on their mind currently, especially for the drivers up front. As you can see, that they're all separated by a mere 7 tenths of a second, which shows how close this field really is.
Yes, as we are going to enter lap 25 out of 29, so 5 to go. Who on earth is going to win this?
I know, I want more, to be honest. That's what I want, I really do. I wish to God there was more, but hopefully I can keep this job, so I can commentate more over this division, or I might get shipped back over to F1. I'm not sure what my future of FRL comms is, but I'm hoping there is one. As Pellegro now, he's going to look for a move on Bunty here in this Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes. Bunty's going to use that ERS. What's happened with Pepin and Scornsy?
Oh, he's off.
Oh, and Hawk is 1.4 ahead. He's used this and he's gone, thank you very much. I'm going to take that chance and I'm going to run with it, literally, and he has ran away from the competition behind. It's 1.5 between these two. Hawk has done incredibly well today to keep ahead of the competition. I don't know how he's done it. You may as well call the man Fernando Alonso, quite literally, because he is just defending like a man. He's defending like his life's on the line.
Yes, incredible performance so far. Hopefully he can get the win.
Pepin spun! He spun it at turn 11. He's done what you've done. He's got on the trigger a little bit too, a little bit too early. And he's reset the track. Nick's now overtaking him, obviously with that 5-second penalty as well, which means it's now a 2-man battle for the win. And you've said at the start of this lap, anything can happen. Well, anything has happened. Pepin has spun. Nick is now on the podium. I've only got one of the podium positions right, actually. I said Pepin was winning, Scornsey was second, and Fisico was third. So actually, the lottery guesses actually might work. Who knows?
Yeah, well, let's find out in a few minutes at the end of the race.
And I'm not going to make any assumptions either, because goodness knows what can happen in the rest of this race. Nick has managed to type in the chat saying I'm low in fuel. He's managed to type that in chat saying I'm low in fuel. I don't know how, but he has, probably because he's in such clean air. You can see as well, if you look on his telemetry, he is red, which means probably some lifting and coasting is probably needed. Yellow flag, sector 1, it is for that Red Bull of Pepin once again, and Davide is going to come back and hopefully try and steal that position from Pepin. A race to forget for Pepin at the minute, or these last 5 laps to forget for Pepin, because he did so well at the start of the race, leading from the front, and then obviously the first mistake happens, and that causes that little downward spiral that slowly swirls and stirs more and more. You can see how like Davide breaks compared to Pepin. I think Pepin losing a little bit of confidence there in that Red Bull currently, trying to see it to the end, if anything, to be honest. That's kind of it. As I don't actually have any water with me currently, which is really annoying because I do need to drink.
Oh, well, there's only a few laps though. Not long to go.
No, we can wait, Are we doing interviews after this or not, because it's pre-season?
I don't know. I don't know if we, Yeah, I got no idea.
Okay. That's fine.
1.3 seconds is the gap. So, yes, Guernsey is not getting DRS at the moment, so Teok's safe for now. But even if he gets close, Guernsey, he might run out of corners, laps, with there only being a handful left, only 2 laps to go or so.
I know, Scornsey may have wasted them earlier opportunities. Obviously, you know, you saw how close he was for probably 15 laps, probably. Actually, Hawk has managed to get DRS off the back marker of Bulow, which will increase his gap to Scornsey behind even more. So Scornsey is currently not a happy man. 1.1 seconds is the gap. He's trying to get within that 1 second. He's got to do it quickly, and he's got to do it now, because he really has to go for the move, if there is a move to be done. This is really starting to heat up now. With only a few laps to go, it is an Alfa Romeo once again of Ryan, who has spun once again.
Oh dear.
It is a race to forget, I think, as well for Ryan. But of course, it's pre-season. No points will be contributed. As Pellegro and Davide. Pellegro, obviously, will have a look at the tyres. 5-lap-old softs compared to 11-lap-old hards. I think there's a massive tyre advantage, especially swaying the way of the man in the Mercedes. We're on board with the man in the Mercedes, and he spun it! That's the one pro and con about the softs. The con is the fact that it overheats extremely easily, and Pellegro is yet another victim of that. On lap 27, he has had the spin of a nightmare, should I say, sorry. 1.1 seconds with only 2 laps to go between Hawk and Scornsey. I don't know how Hawk has managed to keep in front of Scornsey for 28 laps, but he has, and it is now less than a second separating them.
Oh yeah, I just saw it was 1.1 and now it's 7/10, so he's lost time in just one corner.
Yeah, it is 1 lap. If you know the famous Eminem lyric, you have 1 shot, 1 opportunity. Yeah, if you know them lyrics, you know them lyrics. But that's the lyrics that probably they're going to be falling with at the moment, as Hawk runs wide through turn number 12. We have 1 lap left of racing here, and I'm going to take you through this final lap of racing between these two. This is probably the deserved screen time at the minute. As Scornsey now is going to run the DRS. He's got limited amounts of ERS compared to Hawk. He's going to really try and gain on the Williams at the minute. Obviously the dark blue raying of greatness and godliness at the minute is Hawk, with only 3 tenths separating these two. It is incredibly close here between these guys, only 3.5 tenths now. This is his second to last opportunity, arguably, for Scornsey. He's got to make a move now or never, really. He can't. He has one more opportunity going into turn 11. Hawk is really feeling the effects of the pressure at the minute, it seems, as he's oversteering out of every single corner with only 2 tenths separating these guys. Scornsey has done incredibly well. Will Hawk be able to hang on? At the minute, you can feel sort of the presence of Scornsey. You can feel all the emotion starting to kick in. It's one more lap, one more time left of these corners. They have to do it so they're 100% best if they want the win. You can see once again that Scornsey has an absolutely amazing exit there. He's going to use the DRS to help him. Hawk is going to defend like an absolute madman here. This is the last opportunity probably to go for a move, and Scornsey is not going to go for it. There's a final corner for a final corner as we go through turn 12 into turn 13. We have a final run to turn number 14. Hawk has got to defend with everything that he's got in his locker. He's got to pull everything out of his arsenal. The AKs or whatever he's got to pull out. He's got to pull out whatever he can. Scornsey, will he go for it? No, he won't. Hawk has managed, with all of the pressure, Alpine threw everything at him today, but it's Hawk who wins in Bahrain. It is Scornsey who gets P2. It's going to be Nick who gets P3. Pepper will get P4. Give me a second, I need to cough.
That was incredible. What a race.
What a race
my.
that is, as Nick in AI
Goodness
mode.
me.
Pepin will get P3. It will be Nick who gets the podium. Davide P4. Bunty P5, Pepin P6, Ivo P7, Unseen P8, Physico P9, Pelly in P10, Ryan will come through for P11. But what a race! Hawk, everything, and I mean everything, was thrown to that man today from Scornsey and Alpine, and he has somehow managed, just managed, to hold on for absolute dear life, and he's managed to take that opportunity, and he has won here in pre-season testing. A Scar is going to come through for the final person to cross the line. Wowee! What a race!
What a race indeed. Wow, and driver of the day is apparently going to go to Bonzi here. By the game.
Let me just check if we do interviews. I'm just asking the comms chat really quickly. But wow, that was an absolutely amazing race. Wowee.
And here is the podium.
Yeah, the podium lineups. Obviously, the Williams of Hawk has managed to win this race, and it's done absolutely amazingly today here in Bahrain. Scornsey obviously had many opportunities, obviously could not grasp and take them as well as he could have, obviously. But, you know, overall, it was a very, very good race. Respect from all the drivers.
And wow, look at that crowd. Incredible, the amount of people here for pre-season.
I know. It was, yeah, I don't think we'll do interviews. If we do, I'll take the blame for it, not you. So if you want, you can wrap up the stream.
Yeah, I think that's everything for today. And yeah, so thank you very much for everybody who raced today, of course. The drivers, the stars of the show.
Of course.
What a race it was. And thanks to everybody who watched, and thank you for joining me as well in the commentary box as well.
Yeah, no worries.
That was
fun.
Amazing commentary. And
Thank you.
wow, what a first race to commentate on.
I know.
Wow.
It's a race I won't forget, I'll tell you that now. I'm most looking forward to the season. I'm hoping that I'm staying either in one of these divisions to, you know, to keep on, you know, with the commentaries in this league, because the racing standard is so high. So I'm really looking forward to what this season beckons.
Yes, of course. So there will be another pre-season race next week around the track I do not know of. And after that week, then it will be round one. So there we go.
Yeah. Alrighty.
So with that, well, I guess if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to do that and like the stream as well. And, you know, sign up if you haven't already as a reserve. I think you can sign up as a reserve driver or whatever. But yeah, I think that's everything. So thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Team Manil.
Ooh. Christ.